Hello, everybody. Hi, my name is Sheraton, and this is me. Showing the ends. I've started. So let's see, shall we? What am I doing with this thing? I do not know. Yes. So unmute. This is very annoying. I haven't done this for a while, so please bear with me. Um. Oh, I'm trying to do my thing. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, please bear with me. It's been a while. Oh crumbs. What am I doing now? No, I don't want to do that. Anyway. Ah, right. Okay. Right. So, just so everybody knows, my name's Sheraton. This is Showing the Ends. I do apologize. I've been away for quite some time. I've been away for quite some time because reasons. Amongst those reasons, I had to think very hard about what I wanted this channel to be about. And I also had some issues happening in my personal life, as well as I said, reasons. But we're not going to concentrate on that today. As I'm sure you are aware, if you've clicked on this link, there's been a lot happening in Britain lately. And it's been a lot, frankly. We've had various things happen, political things, the death of a reigning monarch, the lack of people wanting to embrace the royal family abroad. Um, we've had so many political scandals. I mean, it's been a lot. I chose not to read on things like the issues with the monarchy um, for a number of reasons. One, I didn't feel that it really needed for someone to read the future of the situation because I felt that it was quite obvious to anyone who was paying attention that there would be a number of countries who are currently in the Commonwealth leaving. So I felt it was quite obvious, and I decided I wasn't going to do a reading on that. And also, yeah, um, there were a number of other issues that came up as well, like the cost of living crisis and how people were going to make it through the winter. Last winter, I decided I didn't want to read on that. Although I did do a personal reading on it to see, like, when they took away the £20 uplift from the poorest in the country. Oh, hello, Tracy. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you. Yeah, so I did check to see what was going to happen there. And I saw that although it wasn't going to be reinstated, the £20 uplift, that they were going to do something else to help the out the poorest people in Britain. Now, in regards to the whole lot cost of living crisis and Rishi Sunak, I did say last year that I thought there was a good chance that he would be the next British Prime Minister, or at least the first non-white British Prime Minister. Is there still a possibility of that? I am not sure. That's something we're going to check tonight. But currently we have a new Prime Minister, Liz Truss. What I will say about my predictions in regarding Rishi Sunak is even though he didn't win and he wasn't the next Prime Minister, he got pretty close. He was in the final two. So I don't know what that says about my predictive abilities, but you know, mm, I'll leave that up to you. So tonight we're going to be looking at Liz Truss. As I'm sure you're aware, this pound sterling has been hammered in the stock market. There was a run on the pound a few days ago, after the disastrous mini budget by Kwasi Kwarteng. I call him quasi sensible, really. Um, but yes, there was, and there was a run on the pension funds. Bank of England had to print 65 billion pounds to prop up the pensions market, because if they hadn't have done that, there would be no pensions for anybody. So whether you have a private pension, a state pension, a triple lock pension, if you get any additional help as a pensioner, apart from the basic welfare state pension, you'd have no money. And it wouldn't matter how wealthy you were or not, you'd have no money because there'd be no pension. So, are we going to face another run on the pound? These are things that we need to know. The pound has dropped from, I don't know, £1, $1.16, £1.16 or something like that to the dollar. It dropped from that to £1.08, I believe. At its low, it was at 106, and it dropped about 4 points in one day. So things are getting quite tasty, and it doesn't look like Liz Truss is willing to change her mind. With all that being said, I think it's time I stop talking and start shuffling cards. And no, before anybody asks, this is my usual cider vinegar, lemon juice, and water. I just like to be a little bit fancy. That's just me. Right. So, for today's reading, the deck I shall be using is the Game of Thrones Tarot. I'm using this deck because I think it's incredibly appropriate when doing political readings. And it gives me a certain nuance as to what the issues, the underlying issues will be in that reptilian nest we call Parliament. And I'm using that to say a pit of vipers. Oh, good evening, Sylvester. Hi. Lovely to see you. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Tabby. Yes, this is one of the things I'm going to find out. Is England about, well, not England, because England is only one country in the United Kingdom that makes up the British Isles. The United Kingdom is 4 countries. So we have England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. But yes, is Britain about to go bankrupt? Hello, Tiffany Intuition. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. So let me see. Right. The question I want to ask: what is the future of the UK economy? Oops, something just dropped out. What was that? What was that just dropped out? Whatever happens, it's going to be fast. Whatever happens, it's going to be real fast. That's all I can say. Woo-wee. Okay. Oh, bloody hell, I keep on dropping cards. Okay. What is the... Oh, crumbs. Have I dropped any more cards? Please let me not have dropped any more cards. I'm very sorry, people. Oops. Nope. I have to say, quite honestly, I'm terrible at shuffling. Or maybe it's just that cards are flying out today because the energy is so... Anyway, okay. Right. What is the future of the UK economy? What is the future of the UK economy? What is the future of the UK economy? Right, here goes. What is the future of the UK economy? Yes, I'm going to take one. Okay, two. You want to be there, don't you? All right. Yes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9. This one, 10. Let's see. What's the future of the UK economy? What have we got here? Oh. First up, Queen of Swords. What does it all mean? Ooh! Crossed by the 7 of Swords. Okay then. At the base of the reading is the 8 of Cups. Could this be for a budget that 99% of the people in the country don't want? I do wonder. All right. Now in the past position. The past position is the 3 of Spears. It's called Spears in this deck, but it's wands. You know what I mean. Right then. Crowning the reading is the Page of Cups. Immediate future. The 8. Oops, what am I doing? The 8 of Swords. Ooh. Followed by the 3 of Swords. The Knight of Spears. The 10 of Spears. And the outcome is the Knight of Cups. Okay, now as some of you are aware, I am not the quickest off the draw when it comes to these things. I am a work in progress. However, if you do decide to book a reading with me, when I am analysing the cards, I will not charge you for that time because I know I take a little bit of extra time when it comes to that. I won't charge you for that time. I will charge you for the time I'm speaking and giving an information and advice. Now, looking at this spread, the first thing I will say is that this was all avoidable. There are no major arcanas here, which tells me that this was all avoidable. Most of the cards here yes, 1, 2, 3. Yes, most of the 4. Okay, most of the cards here are all a little pointy. which I know isn't necessarily a tarot term, but it's what I'm going to say. It's a little bit pointy. Most of the cards here are swords and spears. Somebody's going to get stabbed. I'm just saying. Okay. Right. Because I like to be precise and know what I'm saying. I mean, I knew it was going to be ugly. I knew it was going to be ugly. But damn, this is ugly. Okay. Right. Now, normally I always read cards in an upright position, unless the other cards are trying to tell me something else. In this particular instance, I get the feeling of doom and gloom. It ain't pretty, folks. That's what I mean. The vast majority of the cards are pointy. So, to start off with, Queen of Swords. I can't read this as an upright card. Oh, we will be looking at Liz Truss in a little while, so I'm going to try and be very quick with this reading. However, normally the Queen of Swords would be strong will, sharp wit, head over heart. It speaks of a logical and perceptive woman. However, I don't know if anyone's got Anthony Lewis tarot plain and simple, but I just checked what it means in reverse. The Queen of Swords in reverse is a real bitch. That's what it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm not calling Liz Truss on camera a real bitch. I've said it in my head a few times. Not the real so much. More like the word dumb, but you know, I'll admit, I'll hold up my hand. I'm very sorry. I'm a little bit biased. Not being a multi-millionaire, I'm a little bit biased. But anyway. Oh, crumbs. Yes, this is Liz Truss. Damn. This read's not even about her, and she's turned up already. Already, the woman has turned up. She is the first card in the deck. She's turned up. Woo! It says here, misuse of speech or intellect. Anybody who's listened to Liz Truss, even for about 30 seconds, knows the woman finds it very difficult to actually string a sentence together. As for the intellect, I have heard her being described by some of her colleagues or former colleagues as about as mad as a box of frogs. Disregard of law. Yes, she doesn't seem to be that attuned to, you know, the actual laws of this country. I'm not calling her a criminal. I'm just saying that she doesn't seem to be particularly attuned as in what she can do legally and what she can't. She's been talking about trying to take away people's right to strike. Yes. Okay. Other things around her. Lack of perspective. cunning, deceit. She's not the most honest person, to be frank. Yes. It's my way or the highway. Domineering. Yes. Basically, this is Liz Truss all day. This is Liz Truss all day. I was actually going to do a reading on her future. I don't know if I really need to bother now, but we'll see what else comes up. Now, that is crossed by the Seven of Swords. What does this tell me? This tells me that, frankly, this is someone who, okay, so Liz Truss and her ideology, because let's be honest, she's not really in touch with objective reality. I'm talking about the reality that we all witness and can see and prove around us. She's more inclined towards ideology, even when the ideology doesn't fit with the realistic things that you're seeing around you. She's not interested in realism. Her ideology is what drives her. Now, the Seven of Swords. Okay, so there's her with her ideology, her intolerance, her stubbornness, being crossed by malice, cunning, deceit, lies, and hidden agendas. Basically, someone's told her a pack of rubbish and led her up the garden path, and she believes it because it suits her ideology. So, the next card up is the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups at the base of the reading, what does this mean? It can mean walking away. I have a feeling it doesn't quite mean walking away in this, because what's walking away? Walking away for her would be saying, I don't want to be Prime Minister anymore. She loves a photo opportunity. She's been cosplaying Margaret Thatcher for the last couple of years and readying herself for Boris's exit. It's here. Now she's on the throne. So her getting up and walking away, I can't see it. Now, the base of the reading, when in regards to the economy, okay. Right. Do I think there's going to be a change? I do. Something's going to have to give. She's got a choice. She can either keep her position as Prime Minister, or she can leave. What does that mean? In order to keep her position as Prime Minister, she's going to have to change her mind. It might take her a little while, but she's going to have to change her mind. She's going to have to cancel the abolition of the top rate of tax. So the top rate of tax were for those who are earning over £150,000 a year. That includes millionaires as well. For those people earning over £150,000 a year, instead of paying 45 percent in tax, they were going to be dropped to 40. That would, on average, if you're earning over £1 million a year, if you're a millionaire, you earn £1 million a year, that means you would get a tax break from the government of £55,000. But if you're like the average person in this country and earn about £20,000 a year, that would mean that you would get a tax cut of £157. That's nothing. It's trickle down economics. And everybody knows that that's a load of horse manure. It doesn't work. So that's what she's got to do. She's either got to change her mind about some of the tax breaks that she wants to deliver, or she's got to go. In the past, the Three of Spears, in regardless to the UK economy, we had a lot of import export. So we had a lot of exporting to the EU, all over the world. We were an international player. That was our thing. But yeah, that was our thing. Brisk business. That was our thing. Okay, why has this come about? This has come about due to overconfidence, unrealistic plans. The ships are not coming in. She goes on about growth, but what growth? How? How is growth working out for you? It's not. We lost 4 points in one day off the British pound, so that didn't work. Right, crowning the reading is the Page of Cups. Now, cups are all about emotions, and this is someone acting from an emotional sense because they have a faith, a belief, an idea. The idea is unrealistic. It's not working. It's a terrible idea. But let's have a look. Page of Cups. Right. Now, Page of Cups can sometimes be good news. It can be offer of support. Sometimes it's a younger person. It can be, as I said, cups are emotional. So it can be an invitation. Right. It's nothing like that. Crowning the reading. I said it before. They're living in a fantasy world. They're living in a fantasy world. There's a lack of common sense. Totally irresponsible. An infantile response to the markets. This reading was supposed to be about the British economy. Seems to me like it's more about Liz Truss. I'm just saying. Okay, right. Well, this isn't a surprise. Eight of Swords in the immediate future. Being imprisoned. Being stuck. Being hemmed in. She's stuck in a hell of her own making. She's stuck in a hell of her own making. Okay. Because she's very much a stubborn person, she won't listen to reason. She's the type of person who, my way or the highway type of person. That's the type of energy that we're dealing with here. The decisions she's made. She's ideologically driven by ideology that makes absolutely no sense. she's got a choice. She can continue to have all those wonderful photo opportunities and to fly around on the UK Prime Minister's new jet that got a paint job by Boris. I don't know how many millions he spent on it. It was totally ridiculous and totally unnecessary. But she loves a photo opportunity. So she can swan around being like, I'm the Prime Minister, doing her Margaret Thatcher cosplay. Right, so it's either that or she has to go. And she rather likes being in the limelight and the centre of attention. No offense to anybody, but she's a Leo. I'm a Libra. Libra's kind of like being the centre of attention. Leos love being the centre of attention. You know what? We're really not that different. However, she's taken it to a whole new level because she doesn't mind when she looks like an idiot while being the center of attention. So she's going to have to publicly, I believe, I could be wrong, but she's hemmed in. She's hemmed in. That's the immediate future. Either she goes against the disaster capitalists that are her friends and have been filling her head with nonsense, or she goes against her party. She's boxed in. There's only one way where she can go and continue. She's definitely feeling very much under pressure. Yeah, she is. She just is. What else can I say about that? There's nothing else I can say about that. It's quite clear. So, well, we're going to look at, I think it is the mind. I think this card is the seventh card. I believe the seventh card is the mind. Yes, the mind. The mind is heartbreak. She'll cave. She'll have to. She has no choice but to cave. The reason why she has no choice but to cave is her ministers. Her ministers know there's absolutely, they had very little chance of winning the next general election, but they could make their peace with that to some extent as a party. What they can't stomach, however, is for there to be a landslide. That they can't stomach. Because it's one thing to say there could be 80 to maybe 50, maybe even 100, maximum, say 100 MPs losing their seats, because there's about 80 who are in marginal seats where they have a really good chance of losing either to Labour or the Lib Dems. But what they can't stomach is a landslide. A lot of these people have been in Parliament on the Parliament gravy train, which is basically elite socialism, because they don't really object to socialism. They just object to socialism for poor people. For people who already have money, that's fine. That's no problem. That's why big business gets tax breaks. That's why MPs don't have to actually foot the cost of their own energy bills, because they get money for utilities and rent. Yes. So the heartbreak. She's got no choice if she wants to continue to be Prime Minister. She knows she can't afford a general election because she'll be out, and majority of the MPs, which I think there are currently about 350 odd Tory MPs in the House of Commons. So if they end up losing, I don't know, 150, 200, their party will be decimated. So most of those MPs will end up losing their seats. So that's the mind. The environment. The Knight of Spears. I have often heard this card referred to as the Impetuous Knight, the one who goes in where angels fear to tread, the one who goes in without thinking, the one who just charges forward, doesn't look where he's going, and might end up twisting an ankle or something. Something's going to happen. But as I said, she's going to be forced to have a change of heart. But in the environment, things are happening. Remember, the first card that jumped out of the pack, I didn't include it in the reading, but the first card that jumped out of the pack was the Eight of Spears, the Eight of Wands. It's related. Something's about to go down. A change is in the air. I think a lot of people got a major wake-up call when they saw that budget. They realised that the thing their parents and their grandparents had always told them about the Tory party were true. These people are not governing for you. They are governing for their friends. They don't care about ordinary people. They care about their people. Their people are rich. Their people are wealthy. Their people are millionaires and billionaires. If their electricity goes up by 200%, it's not a problem for them. But it's a problem for me and you. If the mortgage rate suddenly skyrockets, goes up 2 or 3 times by something like, how much percent were they saying? 4%. So that means that your mortgage could go up by £500 per month. From it being £500, now it's £1,000. There's something how this shit works. I don't know, because I don't own my own home. Most of my family do, however. But then again, most of them have paid off their mortgages already. The point I'm making is that ordinary people who would normally vote Tories, and Tories often tend to be homeowners, those people are going to get seriously squeezed. They've had a serious shock from this budget. The knock-on effect of the budget already had the Bank of England increasing interest rates. They're going to have to issue another interest rate rise again. So many people are facing the reality that they could lose their homes because they can't pay for them. The mortgage is too high. Many buy-to-let landlords are facing the reality that they might have to sell the properties, because if they put up the rent so high, people can't afford to rent the properties because they get a profit off the rent. Which sounds like a great idea, except that many mortgage lenders have withdrawn their mortgages. So there are people who were in the process of completing a sale on their house, only for the mortgage company to turn around and say, yeah, we're not giving you that deal anymore. If you want to get a mortgage with us, you're going to have to start at a 10% rate of interest. And 10% is significantly more than 4%. And a lot of people can't afford that. People are changing their minds about what the Conservative Party actually stand for because of this budget. That is why you're having a change a change of mind, a change of ideas. The next card. Now, this is the hopes and fears. In order to get the economy back on track, it's going to be very hard work. Very, 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 very hard work. We're going to suffer. It's going to be a hard winter. Yeah, it's going to be a hard, hard winter. The only way we're going to survive is if we come together. We're going to have to form hubs. So some families where people are living independently, even if they're fully grown, they're going to have to maybe move in with their parents, or their parents are going to have to move in with them. Many families will be huddling together in order to get through this winter. It's going to be a very hard winter, not just financially, but also weather-wise. The weather's going to be hard. I think that this winter it's going to be super chilly. A lot of ice and snow. It's obviously, because of that, there's going to be a lot of people in their homes having a lot of elderly people have to be careful of hypothermia. Best scenario would be for them to move in with friends or family in order to survive. Now, there has been some assistance given to those to ordinary households, but when it comes to businesses are going to struggle. There's going to be a lot of them going under. There's something about this 10 of Spears. There's something about it being 10. Not just in relation to tarot. Is it 10 companies that are going to go to the wall? There's something about 10, and it's not meaning October. It's the number of something. I don't know what it's the number of, but there's something around the number 10. All right, I'm just going to throw this out there. It sounds totally crazy. Right, this sounds totally, totally, totally crazy. Okay, let's take it from the top. Let's take it from the top. All right, crowning the reading was an infantile, unrealistic, stupid ideology, right? That was crowning the reading. The immediate future was someone becoming imprisoned. The imprisonment is self-imposed. So they become stuck in their own box, right? That's the immediate future. In the mind, we have heartbreak. I reckon 3 close confidants are going to turn on her big time. It's going to break her. Okay. Then we have a change of heart. A change coming. A change in the environment. Then we have hard work, a hard slog, but also 10. The number 10 is flashing in my head. Now, there's only one thing that I can see why the number 10 might be flashing in my head the way it is. And I'm like, what is this 10? What does it mean? What does it mean? It's the Prime Minister's house, 10 Downing Street. I think this heartbreak in Liz Truss's mind is they're going to get rid of her. She's going to be out. Someone's going to turn on her. The change is in the air. There's going to have to be a change. A change is going to occur. And that breaks her heart. I think this signals a new Prime Minister. I think that signals a new Prime Minister. Because the outcome card here is the Knight of Cups, the romantic knight, sometimes known as the false knight too, but the romantic knight. The romantic knight who comes along and he offers a pool and he's got flowers and he's oh so sweet and he says all the right things. This is a new relationship. A new relationship. However, if there's not a general election, then we're going to get another Tory. And if it's another Tory, then he's a tricky dicky. That's what he is. He's a tricky dicky. Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's the case. Okay. Because I only want to be on here for an hour. I don't want to be on here for any longer than an hour. The next thing I'm going to check, is there going to be a general election? Because I was asking about the future of Liz Truss. I was going to ask about that in addition to the UK economy, right? I was going to ask about that. However, it came up, a lot of it, when I asked about the UK economy, a lot of it was about Liz Truss. A lot of it was about Liz Truss. So let me just check and see. Right. Let me check and see. Okay. All right. So I could have just asked for a signifier card on that Knight of Spears, but I figure that I'm just going to ask if there's going to be a general election in the next 12 months. Or I could ask, will the next Prime Minister be a Tory? I don't know. What do you think, peoples? Next Prime Minister. Right. Oh, Ace of Cups. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm crap when it. I am rubbish when it comes to shuffling cards. You think I'd be better at this? Okay, let's see. Okay, will there be a general election in the next? You know what? Let's try 6 months. Will there be a general election in the next 6 months? Will there be a general election in the next 6 months? One, two, three. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go for 4, 5, 6. Ooh, hello, you really want to come out. 7, 8. You know what? I'm going to just do it like this. 9. I'm going to go for that one. 10. Okay. Will there be a general oh. Oh, crapiola. It's smelly bum time. Oh, crumbs. I pulled too many cards. I'm going to just keep it anyway. All right. Okay, I see 2 men here. I think I'm going to need a clarifier. Okay. All right. First card I got was King of Swords. This is giving me cool, rational vibes. Someone trying to actually use their brain to break through. However, I don't think the intentions are good. Now that card is crossed by another man, the King of Spears. This is someone who wants the best for people. This is someone who uses their ideas and their creativity to try to make a path forward. They are stable, they have integrity, and they genuinely want to do their best. This guy, he's stable, all right. He's a nice cold B word, but he is stable, and he's ruthless, and he's rational, and he's not nice at all. Crowning the at the base of the reading, we have the devil. The chains to your ideas, the ideology. I get the impression that this person, this King of Swords guy, he is chained to the same ideology that Liz Truss is chained to. The only difference between the two of them is he's not batshit crazy. He is in touch with objective reality. He actually is in touch with reality. And he wants to survive. But he believes the same things that Liz Truss believes. They both have the same belief system. Now, before we get this new prime minister or new leader or new person, there'll be a lot of anxiety. A lot of anxiety. This obviously is about money and a little money. To me, I look at this picture and I see someone asking and someone throwing them a little bag of coins. There's going to be very little money about, but we'll get some, or should I say some people will get some help. There'll be some assistance available, but we're going to be scrambling around for those coins. It's going to be rough. Now, in regards to the election, I see a manipulation. I see someone trying to manifest. They're trying to pull the wool over our eyes, trying to feed us some crap. Now, okay. This kind of looks fated to me. The way we got to this point, we didn't have to do it this way. But this point, this place we're at right now, we were always going to get there. Always. It was just a matter of when and how. The most painful parts could have been avoided, but maybe not. Now, I'm just checking something here because suddenly all these major arcana have turned up. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. All these things could have been, well, some of the things anyway. In the immediate future, Okay, the expert. The expert. Okay, so we're going to have a political expert who knows about finance, who knows about how to make shit work. I wonder. All right, it might sound crazy, people. I wonder if this is Mr. Sunak. I wonder if Rishi steps in again as Chancellor. Why do I say that? Because last time I saw this card when I was reading on UK politics, this card was Rishi. And it's come up again. But someone who knows how the economy works is going to be the next Chancellor. After all this heartbreak and crap happens, there's going to be someone who actually knows how the economy works. I'm not getting as to whether there's actually going to be a general election, but maybe I have to go a bit further. Okay, let's see. Okay, right. Let's have a look. Oh. Okay. The next card up is the Wheel of Fortune. This is in the mind. So, the feeling in the country is that we want a general election. There has been a petition that has been put out of people asking for a general election. A general election in the next 6 months is definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. I'm going to get some clarification on that, however. In the environment, we have the Emperor. So this is all about control. This is all about control. The only question here is we are definitely going to get a new leader, and it will be within the next 6 months. Absolutely. That's guaranteed. Liz Truss is going. The question remains, however, will the new leader come out of the Tory party, or will there be a general election? That's the question that comes up. I am not 100% sure. So I'm going to ask for clarification on the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, please give me some clarification. What does the Wheel of Fortune mean? I need clarification on the Wheel of Fortune. Please show me clarification on the Wheel of Fortune. Does that mean there's going to be a general election, or does that mean, what does it mean? Does it mean yes or no, will there be a general election in the next 6 months? Will there be a general election in the next 6 months? Knight of Spears. Again, the Knight of Spears that made me think that there was going to be somebody else. It's telling me there's going to be someone else, but it's not telling me if there's going to be a general election. All right. You think you're funny? Okay, let's try this shit again. Is there going to be a next general election in the next 6 months? Will there be a general election in the next 6 months? Please, 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 please. Pretty please, with sugar on top and sprinkles and I don't know, real chocolate swirls, thingy jigs, I don't know, chocolate chips and caramel pieces. Yes. Yes. I asked for a decisive answer. Would there be a general election in the next 6 months? Is that what the Wheel of Fortune meant? And I believe I may have gotten a decisive answer. So I asked the question, and this geezer came up again. And I was like, you're not making it clear. I know the new geezer's coming, but is it because of a general election? And I think it might be. I think that people calling for a general election after the whole Liz Truss debacle is dealt with, I think it's going to come sooner. I think it's going to come sooner. I think that might be a yes. Now, the next thing I'm looking at here is the Emperor. So this is about control. The hopes and fears. The hopes and fears are the Queen of Swords. The hopes and fears are Liz Truss. Thing I'm trying to work out is why is Liz Truss coming up again as a hope and fear? Why is she sticking her oar in? What does she have to do with this? Because the environment is about control. Liz is not in control. She's not going to be in control. So why is she here? Why is she here? Is it even her? Is it actually her that's here? All right, this is the worry about being undermined. Someone's going to pull a fast one. Someone's going to do something very dodgy. Someone's going to pull a fast one. I feel like saying the way we think things are going to go, they're not going to actually go that way. It's going to go a different way. But she's here, and it's either her or it's Theresa May. I don't think it's Theresa May. I don't think it's Theresa May. Because Theresa May could be a Queen of Swords all day for all kinds of reasons. apart from the fact that she's also a Libra, but she could be a Queen of Swords all day. Someone's trying to undermine him, which makes me feel almost as if could it be another Tory? Because the best way that Liz Truss could undermine the government, a sitting government, could be as a Tory MP under a Tory Prime Minister. But that doesn't make sense. But this is what the cards are showing me. And it's this magician. He's really manipulative. He's really doing something. And he's right next to the Emperor. Control. Now, the magician knows things. He's an expert. He specializes. He knows his stuff. He knows what he's doing. He has skill and knowledge. And he's right next to the Emperor. The only other thing I can think of is some kind of cross-party administration. A cross-party administration. That's the only other thing I can think of. Which says to me, it's like if there's a cross-party administration, then there isn't a general election. But it is an upturn in fortune because I'm seeing two men here. One of them is malicious, out for himself, but rational and sensible. The other one is caring and nurturing and wanting to protect. He's coming from a good place. He has integrity. I'm seeing all these men here. Obviously, there's a lot of undermining and skullduggery, but then, like, the immediate future, the magician, the Emperor, and then there's her. She's there. The only way she could have the power to undermine anybody is if the Tories were still in charge. I don't know. This is unprecedented times. I don't know. It could be some kind of cross-party coalition or something. It could be, because that would calm people down. As much as people want a general election, people are going to lose their minds this winter. They're going to have to do something to calm people down. The Tory party don't want to have a general election. Maybe there's going to be some kind of cross-party administration. But the only way I see her being a poisonous person undermining people and trying a thing, and this is Liz Truss, the only way I see her being a fear, a worry, a person of concern is if the Tory party are still in charge. And if there's a general election, I don't see them still being in charge. But something's going to go down. Something's going to go down. There's going to be some cutting through the bull, some kind of thing. This person's coming forward for good or ill. Something. And then the last card, well, not the last card, because I end up drawing too many cards. I don't know why. Six of Spears. Six of Spears to me is a celebrated person. It's the person who comes in and everybody's like, yeah, you're here. We're so happy you're here. Oh, thank you for coming. And not necessarily the savior, but someone coming in who everybody loved and everybody's cheering and everybody's so happy that they're there. And that's the person coming in. I'm checking. Okay. Okay, there's a victory. There's victory, triumph, vindication. Right. Victory. Yeah, if there's going to be a general election, then I will feel victorious because it will be a Labour government coming in. Although they'll have a lot of work, it'll be very hard for them to undo all the damage that's been done. But yeah. I don't know, man. People, I think, okay, in regards to Liz Truss, well, in regards to the economy, Liz Truss will not survive. She will be gone. She'll either be gone or she's going to have to bow. I don't think she wants to bow. I think that there'll be some false starts. She'll try a thing, it won't work out, make things worse, like she's done this week. She'll try a next thing, it won't work out, then she'll go back to where she was. People are going to get fed up and just say, listen, you need to go. Either your ideology or you need to go, but we cannot have both. Things are going to get so bad, they're going to force her out. Somehow they're going to force her out. What replaces that, and this is the thing, this is why they didn't get rid of Boris Johnson before, because they didn't have anyone that they felt safe that could replace him, or they felt there was a vote woman that could replace him. They ended up going for Liz Truss, who is an absolute disaster. She's a catastrophe. Boris was the clown show. But if you're watching the clowns, they're making you laugh. At least they're amusing. They've got some charm. They're making you laugh at the same time as you being horrified and crying. But you're like, this shit is crazy. Let me just stop crying and eat some popcorn. With Liz Truss, when she opens her mouth and speaks, she grabs you and holds your attention in the same way someone would do if they were reading from a phone book. She is incredibly dull. I mean, if she was a drug, it's the kind of thing you would take when you were going into major surgery. It's not enough to send you to sleep. It's got to make you completely unresponsive until they give you something to wake you up out of the general anesthetic that is Liz Truss. She has no charm. And when she opens her mouth, she makes, oh gosh, she can barely speak if you ask her a direct question. It's just awful. Really awful. So they're going to get rid of her. She will be replaced. How they'll replace her is a little bit unclear. Although I am getting the whiff of a general election, I'm also getting the feeling that it's going to be a cross-party thing. Because anyhow it's a general election, they're gone. And she can't do a thing. But for the fact that she's come up in this reading, again in this reading, she was in the last reading, now she's in this reading, makes me think, could it be some kind of cross-party coalition? I'm thinking so. The winter's going to be hard, but there are going to be seeds of hope. So that's what I've basically got from these two readings. The winter's going to be hard. There are going to be some seeds of hope. So, okay, right. And there's going to be some skullduggery. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to like double check outcome, final outcome, energy of the reading. Okay, spirit. Oops. What is the energy? I'm such a plonker of this reading. What is, all right, what's the final outcome for the UK economy? The final outcome for the UK economy, or shall I say like the outcome for like the next 6 months? Is there something to hope for? Maybe the outcome for Liz Truss. Spirit, what do you want me to know? What is the outcome of all of these things that we've talked about? What are the energies? What are our takeaways from all of this? What are the takeaways? I would very much like to know, and I'm sure everybody else would too. I'm ever so sorry for not responding, guys, while I've been doing the reading. I've been trying to work out what is going on. So please bear with me. I will be responding to you very shortly. Okay. Okay, what's the final outcome of all of this? Oh. Okay, when I'm putting a final outcome, because this is not on a person, this is on a situation, could encompass a person as well. But this is on like the direction. I've chosen to pull 3 cards because I wanted to know what Spirit wanted to tell me about this. And I also wanted to know what the overarching energies of this situation. Now, the first card I got is Judge. Oops. Okay. Balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. This budget, this government, they are being judged. And the conclusion that people are coming to is that they want to be governed by justice and compassion and a fair distribution of power, a fair distribution of money. Instead of misusing business or legal authority. The second card I got here that really highlights the situation is slave. Giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. This is people following the ideology that they've always followed. Instead of using their minds to think for themselves, they've given their willpower over to an external authority instead of making their own choices. A lot of people have been caught out by following a political party, not because it's actually in their best interest, not because they've actually analysed the information that they've got, but because that's what they've always done and that's what their parents do. And in doing so, all of us have been made slaves. Now, this is the final one, and it's called hedonist. The light attributes inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. The shadow attributes pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. What does this tell me? We've been on a road where we've become enslaved to ideologies that we haven't really thought about. Now we're having to think about them. We have indulged ourselves, or should I say, others have indulged themselves at our expense, and we've allowed that to happen because we've given up on our power, our ability to think critically. And we have found that instead of putting people above us who will judge us with compassion and justice, social justice, and manage the fair distribution of wealth, we've instead elected and put in people who only offer destruction. They misuse what they call business. It's not business. Most of the people in these think tanks have never run a business. They misuse the legal system, and they act almost like in a criminal manner. So that's my reading. I don't know if I'm gonna really pull any other cards to try and have a really deeper look to see what things mean. I think that the information I got pretty much says everything. So, all right, people. I do apologize. I was doing a lot. So, all right. Okay, let's have a look and see what you're saying in the chat. Okay, what black guy do you want it to be, Tracy? What black guy do you want it to be? Do you want to take over? Because we have a black guy who's the first black chancellor, and he's quasi-literate. His name's Kwasi Kwarteng, but he's like quasi-literate. I think it's Rishi Sunak. Okay. Yeah, he's Indian. Oh, thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you so much for joining us today. Oh, thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us. And thank you very much for joining as well, Kiona. It's lovely to see you here. Thank you. Hey, Tosha, darling. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Yeah, Tracy, I think you mean the one from India. Yeah, that one is Rishi Sunak. Really and truly, by all rights, and I'm not a great lover of his because, he's a Tory and he's a sneaky little so and so as well. But one thing with Rishi Sunak, he does have a brain, he does have knowledge and skills, he can use his brain. And he would have made a much better prime minister than Liz Truss at any point in time. In fact, he warned us, he told us that her economic plan would be a disaster for the UK. And when they asked him if he was going to go to the party conference, which I think has just happened this weekend, he said no, he's going to let Liz have her time in the sun. He said everything he needs to say. So, yeah, yeah. Um, as I said, I don't particularly like any of them, but at least he knows what he's doing and he would calm the market down. Anybody got any questions they want to ask? Okay, all right then. Well, in that case, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I will say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you so much for joining me. This is my first solo stream. I was supposed to come on like an hour before and I didn't. I should probably do something like a script or something so it doesn't go on so long. But I hope you found it entertaining. I hope that I illuminated your knowledge in some way. And I also, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, you never know. But yeah, things that are happening in the UK right now are wild, wild. We're heading into unprecedented territory. I think that we are heading for we're going to have a political shake-up. I think that it is quite likely that we're going to end up going for, I don't know if it's going to be proportional representation, although that's definitely in the cards. Well, not these cards, but um but but I think we're heading for some unprecedented times we've never seen before, that are really going to shake up the way we do politics in this country. There's going to be some huge changes. It's going to be, the foundations are going to totally shift. So let's keep an eye out. And I'm going to try to do more frequent readings, but my channel will be mostly political, mostly UK based, but also global. I will be looking at global issues, but mostly political. And but also we'll be talking about other things. So I don't know if it's gonna be a podcast or how I'm gonna do it. I might just come on and talk for a while about various issues. There will be guests, so it won't just be me on my own. It will be like a talk show. So we'll be talking and throwing around various ideas about various issues, everything from dealing with past trauma, finding different ways to help people and be supportive. We'll probably talk about things like addiction, and nutrition, and just basically life through the lens of a metaphysical perspective. But yeah, those are the things I'd like to talk about, some of those things. And yes, obviously, politics, because I'm me. So thank you all very much for joining me, and good night, and thank you. Thank you so much. I feel so touched and honored that you decided to join me today. Goodbye.